The crew of a nuclear submarine receives less radiation than the average person on land. The reason for this is the protective effect of the water column and the lower radiation background underwater than on the land surface. Octopuses have not one heart, but three. The level of intelligence development in octopuses is very high. These creatures even lend themselves to training and also know how to distinguish between people and geometric shapes. During a storm, waves exert pressure from 3 to 30,000 kilograms per square centimeter. Surf waves sometimes throw rock fragments weighing up to 13 tons to a height of 20 meters. The oldest sunglasses in the world. As it is not surprising, but for the first time in history, sunglasses began to be used not in hot countries, where day after day the sun bakes and shines brightly, but in the regions of the far north, in order to protect the eyes from snow blindness. Of all the organs of the human body, it is the skin that is the heaviest. On average, it accounts for about 16% of our total mass. It turns out that the bone is not wide, but the skin is heavy. Dogs taste sweet, salty, bitter, and sour. But they do not feel it with their tongue, as one might think. And exclusively through their wonderful sense of smell. Taste receptors in the tongue of dogs, of course, are present. But their role is modest to determine whether a potential food is good for food or it is inedible or spoiled. This is not Photoshop, but Judas ear. An edible mushroom popular in Chinese cuisine. One of the largest butterflies in the world. Peacock eye. A rare phenomenon of ice eggs in northern Finland. Due to strong winds and cold weather, small pieces of ice grow as they roll in the water. This makes Finnish shores look like giant clutches of dragon eggs. What would happen to our moon if the Earth were donut-shaped? Most likely, it will be pulled towards the hole, and it will swing up and down in the center of the planet. Or it could be influenced by the gravity of the outer edges of the donut and create an 8-fold orbit around the Earth. The man with the most elastic skin. No human on the planet can pull back their skin as much as Gary Turner does. Elephants wave their ears to lower their body temperature. The large surface area of the auricles allows elephants to efficiently expel excess heat. Waving the ears increases the cooling effect. Demonstration of how mangrove forests protect the coast from destructive waves. The tangerine tree is evergreen. From one tangerine tree, you can harvest from 5,000 to 7,000 fruits per season. Dogs should not be given chocolate as it damages their heart and central nervous system. Quokka is the closest relative of a kangaroo, although outwardly it looks more like an otter or a rat. It differs from its relatives only in its short tail, on which the quokka cannot lean like a kangaroo. After mating, 2 embryos develop in the female. One immediately develops into an adult cub, the second only in case of death of the first, or when he grows up. The yellow and red cards appeared among football referees only in the late 1960s. The head of the refereeing corps was pondering how to smooth the language barrier between referees and players when a traffic light caught his eye. So football referees stopped making notes in notebooks and began to show football players cards that are understandable in any country in the world. The largest jellyfish in the world is the Arctic giant jellyfish. The size of the dome of the largest specimen found was more than 2.28 meters, and the length of the tentacles was more than 36 meters. Gas torch. This is the controlled or emergency flaring of associated gas during the extraction or refining of oil at refineries and chemical plants. The rarest American albino alligator. There are only 12 such individuals in the world. In the wild, albino alligators do not survive, they are too visible. Albino toddler caught in Louisiana. For some time, the alligator lived in the Louisiana Zoo, and then he was moved to the Gatoland Nature Reserve, where 4 more of the same creatures already live. Milan is one of the oldest cities on the planet. It was founded by the Celts, and it happened about 2,600 years ago. Milan